The city never really slept, but it often forgot how to feel. People walked past each other like shadows, eyes fixed on screens or buried in worries too heavy to share. Among them was Fazza, a name few people knew, and a soul even fewer understood. He wasn't loud, not the kind to demand attention, yet there was something about him, something quiet, something almost invisible, that carried a strange kind of warmth. Fazza had a smile. Not the kind people practiced in mirrors, not the kind used for pictures or polite greetings. His smile was rare, almost hidden, like a secret the world wasn't ready to see. But when it appeared, it changed things. No one really noticed him at first. He lived in a small apartment above an old bookstore, the kind with dusty shelves and forgotten stories. Every morning, he would step out into the noise of the world, blending into the crowd as if he were just another passing face. He worked at a modest cafe on the corner of a busy street, a place where people came for coffee but never stayed long enough to feel anything real. Fazza watched them. He watched the tired office workers rushing in with restless eyes. He watched couples sitting together but scrolling through their phones instead of talking. He watched lonely souls sitting alone, pretending they preferred silence over connection. And in all of it, he saw something others didn't: the quiet ache people carried inside. But Fazza didn't speak much. He believed words were often too small for what people truly felt. So instead, he listened. He listened to the pauses in conversations, the sighs between sentences, the way someone stirred their coffee a little too long. And when the moment felt right, when someone least expected it, he smiled. It started with a girl. She came into the cafe one rainy afternoon, her eyes heavy with something she couldn't explain. Her name was Zara, though Fazza didn't know it yet. She ordered her coffee softly, barely making eye contact, and sat by the window where the rain blurred the world outside. She looked like someone trying to disappear. Fazza noticed. He prepared her coffee with unusual care, as if the way he poured it mattered more than anything else. When he placed it in front of her, she didn't look up at first. But when she did, even for a second, Fazza smiled. It wasn't big. It wasn't dramatic. But it was real. And for reasons she couldn't understand, Zara paused. Something about that smile felt different. It didn't ask questions, didn't demand attention, didn't try to fix anything. It simply existed, gentle, warm, and strangely comforting. For the first time that day, she didn't feel completely alone. She didn't say anything. Neither did Fazza. But something had changed. Days passed, and Zara kept coming back. At first, she told herself it was just for the coffee. But deep down, she knew it was something else. Every time she walked in, Fazza would greet her the same way with that quiet smile, and every time, it felt like the world slowed down, just for a moment. She started noticing things too. The way Fazza treated everyone with the same calm kindness. The way he remembered small details, how someone liked their coffee, or which table they preferred. The way he never rushed anyone, even when the cafe was full. It was as if he had all the time in the world, even in a place where no one else did. One evening, when the cafe was nearly empty, Zara finally spoke. "Why do you smile like that?" she asked, her voice hesitant but curious. Fazza looked at her for a moment, as if choosing his answer carefully. Then he shrugged slightly. "Because most people forget how," he said softly. Zara frowned. "Forget how to smile?" Fazza nodded. "Not the kind for pictures, the real kind." She didn't fully understand, but something about his words stayed with her. From that day on, their silence turned into conversations. Small ones at first, about coffee, the weather, random thoughts that didn't seem important. But slowly, those conversations grew deeper. Zara began to open up about her life, her struggles, the weight she had been carrying for so long. And Fazza listened. Not like someone waiting for their turn to speak, but like someone who truly cared. He didn't interrupt, didn't judge, didn't offer unnecessary advice. He simply listened, and when words weren't enough, he smiled. That smile became something more. It became a reminder. A reminder that not everything was broken. That even in a world full of noise and emptiness, something real could still exist. Something gentle. Something human. Zara wasn't the only one who noticed. Slowly, the cafe began to change. People stayed a little longer. Conversations became softer, more meaningful. Strangers started exchanging small smiles with each other. It wasn't obvious at first, but something was shifting, and it all traced back to Fazza. There was an old man who used to sit alone every morning, reading the same newspaper without really seeing the words. One day, Fazza smiled at him, and the next day, the old man greeted him back. A week later, he started talking to the woman at the next table. There was a couple who used to argue quietly, their words sharp and distant. One afternoon, Fazza served them with that same gentle smile, and for a brief moment, they looked at each other differently. As if remembering something they had forgotten. And there was Zara. She changed the most. The heaviness in her eyes slowly faded. She started laughing more, speaking more freely, living more fully. She began to notice the world again, the small details, the quiet beauty she had ignored for so long. One day, she asked Fazza something she had been thinking about for a while. "Do you ever get tired," she said, "of always being the one who understands everyone else?" Fazza looked at her, surprised by the question. Then he smiled again, but this time, there was something deeper in it. "Sometimes," he admitted. "But I think, everyone carries something. If a smile can make it lighter, even for a moment, it's worth it." Zara didn't respond right away. Instead, she smiled back. And in that moment, something shifted again, not just in her, but in Fazza too. For the first time, someone wasn't just receiving his kindness, they were giving it back. Seasons changed, and so did life. The cafe became more than just a place, it became a space where people felt seen, even without words. And at the center of it all was Fazza, still quiet, still gentle, still smiling. But life doesn't stay still forever. One morning, Fazza wasn't there. The cafe felt different immediately. The air was heavier, the silence less comforting. People noticed. They asked about him, wondering where he had gone. But no one had an answer. Zara felt it the most. Days passed, and Fazza didn't return. The smile that had quietly changed everything was gone. But something unexpected happened. People started smiling anyway. The old man greeted others without waiting. The couple spoke more kindly to each other. Strangers shared small moments of connection, just like before. And Zara, she smiled too. Not because everything was perfect, but because she understood now. Fazza's smile had never just been his. It had been a beginning. A spark. Something that lived on, even in his absence. Weeks later, Zara found a small note left behind in the cafe. It was simple, written in careful handwriting. Sometimes, the smallest things change everything. Don't forget to smile, not for the world, but for the hearts that need it. Zara held the note close, her eyes filled with quiet emotion. And then, she smiled. Because now, she knew. Fazza's smile had never been about him. It had been about everyone else. And somehow, it had changed everything. This channel is all about poetic stories and emotional content inspired by Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Fazza, the Crown Prince of Dubai. Here, you will find deep poetry, love stories, and powerful lines reflecting his royal lifestyle, silent strength, and emotional side. Backhand index pointing right. Please like and share and subscribe my channel for more beautiful poetry and poems. Red heart. Thanks for watching.